Hello everyone and welcome. Hi, this is live stream number 95 bread part 3. Obviously we continue our conversation, waiting on you to come here on Hello Talk. If you're watching me on Facebook, on the other hand, this is a recorded live stream. I go live here on Hello Talk and then I record my screen meanwhile. That's why you can see the comments, you can see people coming here or whatever. But anyways, just keep going with our conversation. Watch me, like I said, on Facebook and YouTube. This is a recorded live stream. In order for you to watch me live and interact with me live, with me and others, obviously, people who come here and then they're gonna start coming here and interacting with each other or whatever. I'm afraid you would have to come on Hello Talk. You would have to follow the link because whenever I go live, obviously I share the link, the live stream link. You should press on that link and it should direct you to the app. If you're installing the app the first time, hi Prem, nice to see you. If you're installing the Hello Talk app for the first time, look for Learn English Live with Taki. Basically what I do, I go live if I can every day. Sometimes I can too much. So I go live twice or 3 times a day. There has been a moment where when I went live 2 or 3 times a day, but I can't promise that. But what I can promise you is I'll try my best. I'm old user. Hi to you. Hi Pram. I was directed my speech to anyone, to Hello Talkers, to YouTubers and Facebookers. Pram, I wasn't meaning you personally. So I was talking to you, plural, because Iman Mahai, nice to see you. So so you're an experienced Hello Talker. How long have you been using Hello Talk, Pram? But anyways, I was talking to my audience, obviously, Hello Talkers, YouTubers, Facebookers, because I post my live streams. I record them meanwhile and I post them on Facebook and YouTube. Learn English Live with Taki. So basically, if you're new here or you're watching me for the first time, so basically what I do, I'm doing series food. Now I'm dealing with food. I dealt with the word friend before and it took us roughly 30 live streams to deal with this word. Basically I grab a word, food or whatever, like now I'm dealing with the word bread, and this is the 3rd live stream about the word bread. As you can see, it's the 95th live stream so far on Hello Talk as a live streamer. And yes, I'm an advanced user of Hello Talk, an older user like Pram. I've been using Hello Talk for like more than a decade now, but for live stream I've been live streaming for just about a month and I'm liking it. I like go live. I like interacting with people and share my knowledge. But anyways, so today is bread part 3. So in the previous live stream, previous 2 live streams, we started with the word bread. We start from the basics, a basic definition, and then we branch out. Branch from a tree, yeah, tree's got branches, you got a stem and you've got a branch, yeah. To branch out, this is a phrasal verb. An English phrasal verb means to extend or to expand on that word. We don't do just vocabulary, although think about that. Any language you learn, it's about vocabulary. But what we do vocabulary, we do like general English, academic English, spoken English, written English, read English as well. Hopefully to target all the language areas about English language to really help you to get to that level you're wanting or you're aiming for. But meanwhile, like I said, what we do, like when we do vocabulary, we do idioms, we do metaphors, we do phrasal verbs, We do sort of these things. But anyway, so bread we done last time. I'm gonna do a quick review. We stopped at bread and butter, in a sense that your bread and butter basically it's what you do. For example, it's a livelihood, it's your livelihood. For example, if you're a driver, a taxi driver, so the car, your car is your bread and butter, is your livelihood, is something you use, is your work, your job. Your work is just an advanced way, like an English, general English, advanced general English way to say my job, my livelihood. My livelihood is more like academic, formal, more formal. You say this is my livelihood, but you can also still say it in spoken language. Someone you don't know. It depends on the context, but someone you are familiar with in a familiar laid back situation. So you say my bread and butter, and then we done also something else kind of like within the same sphere. Daily bread, daily bread, this is my daily bread. Your daily bread is the amount of money you earn and you need in order for you. Hi cutie, nice to see you. Yeah, so the amount of money, so like your daily bread, so could be £60 here in the UK. This is your daily bread. So this is the amount of money earned doing your work, doing your job, teaching or whatever. So you've got a daily bread, daily income. So income is more like kind of like academic way to say income or earning. But cutie, hi, nice to see you from Iran. I recognize your flag because we've got some of our regulars, they're from Iran. We've got Safa, we've got Fatima, they're all from Iran. Which part from Iran are you reaching out? Because this is the first time I see you here on our live stream. So which part of Iran, and how is your English? How are you doing in general, and what do you do to improve your English? But anyways, nice to see you. So I'll keep going. So that was just a quick review about bread and butter. So we're dealing with the word bread tonight. If you're watching me during the day on Facebook and YouTube, this is again a recorded live stream. But here, hello talkers, they're watching me live. So let's keep going with the word, specifically with bread and butter. So a bread and butter, we've got something interesting. Please confirm if you can see my whiteboard. Cutie, are you still with us? Can you see my whiteboard? Nice to meet you too, cutie. Nice to meet you. Can you see my whiteboard, please? Please confirm. That's good, Iman. Nice to see you. So we've got bread and butter. So that was just a quick review. I'm not gonna go about it again. If you want to watch it, Facebook live stream number 94, but 95th, I'm gonna build on that. So bread and butter again, but I'm gonna add on to that bread and butter pickles. You know what pickles? Yeah, exactly. Butter, food, yeah. So pickles, you know what pickles means? So you should tell me about your country. So pickles is you grab onions. Here in the UK, we could buy pickled onions, pickled eggs, pickled onions, pickled cucumber. So basically it's vegetable. Yeah, it's like soury. It's vegetables in vinegar, basically kept in vinegar in a jar, and it's so delicious. So we've got jalapenos also. You buy them, they're like spicy. It's basically a spice, yeah. Jalapenos, and you put them on your pizza or within your toast or your sandwich. They just bring another flavor Yeah, like salad, but like pickled. We call it pickled onions, pickled eggs. They're really delicious. You should try that. Like you could even, if you don't have it in your country, you could learn that. Look up a video on YouTube how to pickle your eggs and try them. They're perfect for snacking as well, because you know eggs are so healthy, and it's nice to snack on them as well, and they're so healthy and so delicious. We are homemade pickles, very good, well done. Yeah, homemade, usually they're healthier. Yeah, that's good. But sometimes me, I just buy them ready made. They might not be quite healthy, but I mean compared to a burger or something, uh, yeah, basically like pickled eggs are so delicious. Unless you don't like soury flavor, but so delicious, but healthy to pick on or to snack on. Yeah, like faster way to snack on something. But anyways, pickles, you get that now. So bread and butter pickles, this is how it's written. Okay, got it, thanks, that's so good, cutie. So bread and butter pickles. A pickle, a vegetable stored in vinegar or salty water. Yeah. Clearly, I never made them before, so I buy them ready-made. That consist of sliced cucumbers in a mixture of vinegar, sugar, and spices. Basically, so bread and butter pickles is just another way of referring to pickles. Yeah, pickles. So bread and butter pickles. So Ayaka, hi, nice to see you. My friend is Scottish. Ate haggis, he said. Do you like it? Yes, I do love haggis. It's a Scottish thing. Yeah. Yeah, I love haggis. You know what? Recently, was last weekend, I went to an Indian restaurant, and they were offering a variety, an Indian variety, made of haggis. So, if you got Indians here, pana puri, but it's a different variety. It was haggis puri. So I loved it. It was delicious. It wasn't that great, but it was delicious. It was worth trying. So haggis, boys and girls, this is like Scottish national dish. Haggis, yeah, made of the inside of a sheep. Espresso decaf, so you don't ask. But anyways, pickles, yeah, is just a different way. If you speak to your friend like Ayaka here from Japan, speak to your friend from Scotland or from America or Canada, sometimes they would refer, or you're watching a soap opera or whatever, and they refer to pickles as bread and butter pickles. Why? Because there is a way of eating pickled vegetables with bread and butter. So it does exist now in English language, so they refer to pickles as bread. Oh, I see. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, bread and butter pickles. I've got examples here. My grandmother used to make the best bread and butter pickles. So you grab a slice of bread and hopefully healthy. We were having like a slight argument with Luna yesterday from Belgium, and she was like, she was debating the fact that brown bread is healthy, and yes, it is healthy. So it's up to you. You grab brown bread or white bread or the one in the middle. You remember last within the live stream, last live stream, sorry, we said that uh, a wheat bread is kind of like in between 50 wholemeal and 50 white flour. So it's not white. White is non-healthy. In between wheat bread, and then we've got the healthiest, which is brown, and the healthier, but there is the healthiest rye bread, sourdough bread. I don't want to confuse you with all of that. Just keep in mind, bread in English language, you've got white, you've got brown, and the one in between is like white, I would say brownish, like in the middle, yeah, light brownish, yeah. So that's like 50-50. The whiter one basically is the non-healthy, the crispy one, the delicious, unfortunately. But the brownest one is the one believed to be healthy. But anyways, so that's another way to say pickled, yeah? Pickled, bread and butter, pickles. Fatima, hi, nice to see you. There you go, cutie. That's Fatima I've been telling you about. Nice to see you, Fatima. We've got someone else from your country, Fatima. We've got Iman as well. Iman, here, I can see you. Here. This one, this guy from Iran. We've got cutie from Iran. And now we've got Fatima. Yeah. So, anyways, bread and butter pickles. Bread and butter pickles. So I've got here an example. My grandmother used to make the best bread and butter pickles. The beef patty comes with mustard, aioli. Patty is just a different like pie or whatever made of beef in this case, and aioli is just a different ingredients. We don't go about it that much. And bread and butter pickles here in this context is just a different way, different, I would say probably American way to say pickles. Just bread and butter pickles. Is bread your staple food? In Japan, rice is the staple food and is eaten 3 times a day. I would say, yeah, bread. Yeah, it's still in Britain, like, yeah, main food, yeah. Although, you know, like there is, in Britain, there is different eating trends nowadays. So, you know, there is different diets. For example, the low carb diet, when people they eat less carbs, for example, they cut down. We talk about cutting down on something, not cutting it, not cutting it down. To cut down on what? On something. It means to limit eating something. So to cut down on something. Yeah, to cut down on something. On. Keep in mind, how would you memorize this phrasal verb? To cut down on something. Yeah. So what I advise you to do is memorize by a block. You know what block means? Block is a group of, in this case, words. You've got the verb to cut, and then to cut down is already a phrasal verb. You could say here it's more complex, is a complicated, complex, yeah, complicated is more negative, but complex phrasal verb. To cut down on something. So to cut down is the phrasal verb and on is the preposition. So you should aim to memorize it this way. To cut down on. To cut down on. Welcome to Real English. My friend said there isn't good bread in Japan. Yeah. Yeah, probably you've got the best rice in Japan. Tell them. When you want to be national, yeah? Tell them we've got the best rice here. But anyways, yeah, so to cut down, please stop memorizing just to cut, or cut and you make a translation into your own native language, yeah, But stop memorizing using your native language. Memorize with English. And don't memorize. The second one is the second piece of advice is don't memorize just one word. To cut, to cut, to cut. No, to cut down, yeah? To cut down. Memorize this way. To cut down and then to cut down on. To cut down on something. Basically, to reduce using, for example, in this case, you cut down on bread, yeah? You cut down. Yes, she has to eat. Yeah, she. And what's wrong with rice? Like, it's healthy and obviously, I understand the struggle, especially when you're used to eat white bread, crispy toast. Oh yeah, yeah, with butter. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But anyways. But rice is delicious as well when you know how to prepare it. I love sushi. For example, me, whenever I go to buffets, I try to try more sushi. I love sushi, healthy, delicious, more variety. It's just a different way to eat Japanese, yeah. Love that sauce. I forgot its name. Aioli, or I forgot. I forgot. The sauce so delicious on the Japanese rice. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyways, so that was it. My grandmother used to make the best bread and butter pickles. So there you go. I think that's Iman talking about his grandmother because he's got homemade pickles. She's not used to eating rice. Well, she'll have to now. She'll have to. She's got no choice. So, yeah, let's move on to another word within the same sphere, using the same words, but meaning something differently, yeah? So, bread and butter, we said pickles. Now we're talking about pudding. Pudding, yeah? Manar, thanks for following. Thank you for sharing the room. When you share the room, you allow others to join us and we get to know others. She made the best pickles. Oh yeah, yeah. Lucky you, Iman, for having such a talented grandma. Yeah. So we've got bread and butter pudding. Yeah, pudding. Please be active. That's why I advise you to do. I advise you is a request from you, yeah, kind of like a request, but also I'm making you in a nice way. I'm not making you, pushing you, harassing you. So I advise you, it means I suggest, I highly suggest that you do it. I advise you to do so. So when I'm writing it down, practice your pronunciation. You know butter, but because it's not your native language, English not your native language, you tend not to practice it. And then when you get to speak, you struggle even with butter. So what I advise you to do is, so here, when I write, you practice you when you're watching me or whatever, women doing the dishes, doing the dishes, Cutie and Fatima. And you can still practice, yeah? So practice, please. So we've got bread and butter. We've done pickles, bread and butter. In this case, pudding, yeah? This is how it's written. Please try to memorize the spelling. The spelling means how it's written, yeah? Pudding, yeah? But meanwhile, practice your pronunciation. Bread and butter pudding. Bread and butter pudding. This is just spoken one. But guess what? It helps practicing. You complain always about not having partners to practice with. You can practice on your own. This is one of the techniques you can practice your spoken English. And just another way to memorize when you speak it. Psychology tells us you remember a word more if you speak it and if you write it and if you put it in a sentence and you use it, you remember it. You tend to remember it more. I always have get asked How can I memorize word? Then practice. Practice, but in a different way. Practice your speaking. Ayaka, thank you for live stream. You're welcome. Really, I love it. It's very strange, but I can understand your English better than before. I love bread and butter. There you go. That's a good example of practicing what you're learning from Ayaka from Japan and others. Please don't be shy. Practice. This is good for you. The more you use that thing you're learning newly, the more you put into practice by speaking, you listen to it from me. So you practice your listening and speaking, you speak in it, and then you write it down, written, and then you read it when I was writing it. You practice the 4 areas of a language. So you're more likely to retain it. You retain it means you basically you learn it, you remember it, yeah? You recall it. These are all synonyms. To recall, to remember. Remember is more like B1, B2. To remember, sorry. To recall is more like general, advanced general English. I would say C1, C2. And to retain, this is even academic English, to retain something. But anyway, so bread and butter. Thank you for live streaming. You're welcome, Ayaka. Guess what? I do enjoy it. Even me, I progress, and I get to enjoy live streaming also in a different way. I progress in a different way, but also I love coming live and meet regulars. So we've got Iman, we've got Fatima, we've got Ayaka. Hopefully Cutie also will join the club and she will get done. But anyways, let's head back. So bread and butter pudding. Pudding, yeah? Pudding. What does that mean? A sweet, soft, baked dish, yeah? It's a dish, sweet. That's why it's pudding is sweet, yeah? Rice pudding, for example, we do that when we do a rice. So a pudding is a sweet dish, yeah? Sweet, soft baked dish made with slices of bread soaked. Soaked means, how do I say soaked? Soak. So for example, if you go outdoors and it rains, the rain falls, and you get so wet. So we say, you say to me, Taki, I'm soaked. Yeah, means I've got a lot of, I'm so wet. I'm so wet. Yeah, so the bread is soaked. Yeah, soaked in egg and milk or cream. Yeah, cream. So egg or milk and other ingredients such as sugar, dried fruits, or spices. So what I advise you to do, bread and butter pudding, look it up on Google image and you see what this pudding look like, yeah? It's a sweet dish, basically. So I've got an example here. The menu features traditional favorites such as treacle sponge, this is a cake, yeah? Treacle sponge, and bread and butter pudding, yeah? Because you've got bread basically sliced, yeah, and soaked in, you know, milk and cream and sugar or whatever to make it like, you know, more delicious. And it's clearly it clearly is a dessert, yeah. So the menu features means has got features traditional favorites such as treacle sponge and bread and butter pudding. Yeah, so that was it. So a bread and butter. So you've got now you've got a lot of synonyms when it comes to bread and butter. Your bread and butter is your livelihood. For example, if you're a taxi driver, so the car is your bread and butter. This is your livelihood. This is your job. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then bread and butter, pickles. So which is another way to say pickles. Yeah. Instead of saying pickled onions, pickled jalapenos or whatever, you just say bread and butter. Pickles is just an advanced general English way to say pickles. Yeah. But also we've got now bread and butter pudding. This all stems from one word, which is bread. This is live stream number 3, bread related live stream, but obviously this is the 95th live stream. Yeah, so I think that was it with bread and butter. So let's move on to the next one. Next one is bread and circuses. You know what circus means? Yeah. So bread and circuses. What does that mean? This is an idiom, English idiom. Bread and circuses. Bread and circuses. I'm getting tired, but I'll keep going. So bread and circuses. Yeah, circus. This is singular circus, but circuses is plural. So bread and circuses. Bread and circuses. What does that mean? This is an idiom. Yeah. So activities or official plans that are intended to keep people happy and to stop them from noticing or complaining about problems. So as let me see, let's head back to the video mode. So here what we learned so far, bread. So your daily bread is basically your earnings. Yeah, when you go to work, my daily bread is the amount of money I earn throughout working, basically, to keep me alive, to pay for my food, to pay for my rent, to pay for my housing, my clothes, basically my income. Yeah, so bread. But then circuses. Yeah, circus is for entertainment, to entertain people or whatever. So here, that's, you can guess the meaning. Yeah, bread and circuses. This is activities or official plans that are intended to keep people happy and stop them from noticing or complaining about problems. You're gonna come across this idiom usually in a political debate, two people debating, or 2 or 3 people in politics. Yeah, and they mention that, usually criticizing, for example, a regime. They said they have they should stop doing their bread and circuses, sorry about that. Bread and circuses. What does that mean? That's what I mean. Basically, a government or a regime, when they try to organize, for example, activities, recreational activities, in order for to stop people from basically complaining, revolting, protesting against the government or whatever. So this is a political idiom. So I'm referring to this one, bread and circuses. Yeah. So here the academic term, we could talk about appeasing. Appease. Yeah. So appease, how is it written? So this is a good academic term to learn when it comes to here, to appease. Yeah, to appease. Yeah, so to prevent further disagreement or fighting. Yeah, by letting the opposing side have something that they want, yeah? So this is like within the same sphere. But, like we said, bread and circuses is just idiomatic expression, more political. But the academic term would be appease, to appease people. Hi, how nice to see you. Thanks for the heart. So to appease, yeah? We're talking about appease, appease, appease. Please be active, pronounce it, and practice your pronunciation. Appease, appease. Meanwhile, you should memorize how it is spelt, yeah? Appease, appease, double P, E-A-S-E, appease. So to prevent further this, so here, for example, in this case, in order for the government or the regime to appease people, to appease protesters, they organize what is called bread and circuses. Yeah, they do bread and distract someone from yeah, exactly. That's why what we mean by doing this one, the second one, the first one here. Can you see my laser pointer here, the red one? Bread and circuses. So they do, the government does bread and circuses. Basically organize activities, recreational activities, in order to appease. So why are we learning appease? That's what we do in our live stream. We don't do just general English, because in my humble opinion, in order for you to really get your English to the next level, you need to consider learning academic English, because academic English is the origin of general English. You could get to a higher level of general English, but then you start feeling like, I'm not progressing. What's happening? Well, you should look into learning academic English, because here you could say bread and circuses, but then you go read a newspaper, yeah, and then you come across appease. This is more like academic. If you're like you study in politics at university or economics, you might come across that in a social setting, to appease, yeah, to basically to prevent further disagreement or fighting by letting the opposing side have something that they want. This is a good very professional definition. I've got an example here. He was a crucially ally who the country needed to appease. Yeah, so yeah, that was kind of like within the same sphere. Yeah, obviously it's not related to bread, but within the sphere, this is more like academic. Yeah, yeah, so it should be written this way: bread and circuses, and to appease. Yeah, to appease. Let me have a look at yeah, what have we got? So I've got here the main collocations is about types of bread. I don't know, we should go about them just now, because they're really French bread, garlic bread. We've done that the first live stream. Pita bread, yeah, pita, Mediterranean bread. Yeah. Yeah, daily bread, we've done that. Bread and butter pickles. I think I'll have to think about it more. Whether we proceed with that, or we just have a break and then we move on to maybe butter next time. Daily bread, daily income. There you go. Well done. Yeah, that's what we done last time. Daily bread is your daily income, daily earnings. Yeah, we're talking about earnings here, what you earn when you do your job. So this is your daily bread. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting tired. And meanwhile, I would like to think about what, whether we on. There you go. Let's do this one. Yeah, so let's do this one also. It's really important. Let's get this bread. Yeah, let's get this bread. Let's get this bread. What does that mean when we say let's get this bread? Let's do this one and then we call it a night maybe. Yeah. Let's get this bread. What does that mean? Yeah, let's get this bread. This is also an idiom. Let's get this bread. This is also a common idiom. Yeah. So what does that mean? Mainly you hear it when you come across. You would come across it when you're watching. Maybe no, unfortunately not, Iman, but well done for trying. You would come across this idiom mainly in American English, yeah, but you might come across it as well in Britain or Canada or whatever. Maybe they used it, they picked it on, they picked it from American media or whatever. So let's get this bread. What does that mean? So used to encourage someone to try hard and be successful. So you weren't that far, Iman, yeah? You weren't that far, but it wasn't just about money, but obviously earning money is or kind of like regarded as, earn money is, you just can't earn money without doing nothing. Basically, you would have to work hard and earn your daily bread. Or here, people to encourage you, they use the same kind of like word, bread, but let's get this bread, yeah? So to encourage someone, you're working with someone or whatever, and then you encourage them, you're working hard, let's get this bread. It means you're encouraging them to work harder, yeah? Used to encourage someone to try hard and be successful. Let's get this bread, man. Means let's work harder, yeah? Wake up, everyone, let's get this bread. So someone is, waking people up and telling them, let's get this bread. It means he's encouraging them, they're encouraging them to work harder. Happy Monday, let's get the bread, yeah? Let's get the bread. So let's get this bread, or let's get the bread. It's the same in my opinion. So as you can see here, it's Happy Monday, let's get the bread, yeah? It's work and achieve. Yeah, exactly. Let's work harder, even harder. It's Monday, you're going to work anyways, but let's work harder. Basically, instead of saying let's work harder, it's just a more advanced way of a more advanced general English way to say let's work hard day and let's succeed our day, basically, yeah? So let's get the bread, or this bread. Yeah, let me have a look. Yeah, I think the next one would be around, because I've been live streaming for like an hour already, and that's what happens to me. After an hour, I'm done. I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to be there, like happy Monday. Not really. The meaning here is, for example, the example I've just given, you're starting Monday, yeah? For example, you're going to work, and then your boss or your friend, you're working together, yeah? And they tell you, let's get this bread. Instead of just saying, let's work harder, let's be successful, it's just a nicer way, more advanced way, mainly American, yeah? So let's get this bread. It means let's work harder. Yeah? Pow. Well done, yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, I think the next live stream number 96, hopefully it'll be tomorrow, yeah? I usually go every day, but sometimes I go twice a day. But I usually go every day. So next live stream will be bread part 4, and I think we'll be done by the word bread. It would be tomorrow more idioms, but we do also more like academic English as well. Meanwhile, you know how it works. That's how it works on this live stream. But anyways, thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you've learned something. I'll post a summary of our live stream later on Hello Talk. Basically, all what we've done tonight in this live stream. Please stick around, look after yourself, and have a good one.